Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Videodiary, shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where, yeah, watched Shang-Chi yesterday. That was pretty cool. I guess we'll talk about that a little bit. I'm pretty tired, mind you, so we're just going to keep everything chill as it is, what day is it? Sunday, and that's how things should be as I slowly move everything back and forth. But yeah, it's about taking a long time loading here. A very long time. Good evening, everyone. Back now in Fawnhallow, 7:02 PM on Sunday, September 12th, 2021. Not to really speak of about your sock. Yeah, I know. Shang-Chi's a pretty cool movie. It's the latest Marvel movie, and I'm trying to think of the best way to summarize it. Something like oh gosh, it's dark. Kind of like a Chinese martial art film, I suppose, combined with a Marvel movie. Has our rating got nowhere? Quite a few things strewn about on the floor on our first thing. I don't really recall what we got on the floor over there. Oh no, we have a birthday room or something, don't we? Sounds about right. What's going on? Oh, probably the longest pause in existence. Basically, I started recording and I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it right now. So here we are, like, how many hours later, recording a bit more. But yeah, I watched Shang-Chi yesterday. It was pretty good. I gotta say, it was a pretty good standalone Marvel film. I don't know how it holds up to the rest of the Marvel oeuvre, but you know, I suppose I never really knew in the first place. You might say, are you slightly biased? Excuse me, because you're Chinese. Well, British-born Chinese, I suppose yourself. You could start to relate a little bit from the time thing, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I am slightly biased in that sense, and it made the movie all the more better for it. Like one scene I was talking, especially with Ali, was so it was going to be like, I guess, Shang-Chi spoilers. Sorry, Shang-Chi spoilers. I looked up as the way you're meant to pronounce the characters. It's meant to be like Rising Spirit or something, if I recall. The scene in particular, when he's on the airplane with what's her name, Katie, trying to explain how to pronounce his name, sorry. He just goes like Shang-Chi over and over again. Hello, Raymond. Oh. A paper lantern, sure. And he keeps going like Shang-Chi, and she goes like Shang-Chi, 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 and it goes back and forth. And the amount of times I've done that, trying to explain what my Chinese name is to my friends, is very relatable. Hashtag relatable, as they might say. Another question that I was asked, we already got a model of this, yes we do, was how good was the Chinese in Shang-Chi, and I gotta say, it was basically fluent, as far as I could tell. Some people had accents, so I can't really comment. Like, by the way, I was not born and raised in China. I just kind of know how to speak Mandarin reasonably well. Well, maybe not, I shouldn't say reasonably well, it's a bit inflating my own ego, I suppose. Conversationally. Whoa. There are shooting stars. Oh. This has changed everything. We're gonna be shooting star wishing now. Compared to doing anything else in particular. I was gonna say, I heard a little twinkle in the sky. And I don't think I've done much shooting star wishing on here. Unfortunately, I'm using the pink and green Joy-Cons, which are kind of broken, so yeah. How good was the Chinese? I thought Chinese was pretty good. Like, it was all very comprehensible. They sounded like people who knew Chinese, although some people had accents. Like, if I remember, the sister had an accent, I feel like, but I didn't know what it was. And you know me, because I didn't grow up in China, and I don't have particularly fluency in every single accent, understanding every single accent, just like people in England don't necessarily understand, like, other things, you know. Well, it's going to be a little bit stop and start, shall we say. But yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was quite enjoyable. It's like a Chinese martial art film, but like a Western Marvel take on it. Now, I say this as someone who hasn't really watched many martial art films in the first place, so I don't really know if I know what I'm talking about. And also, it doesn't seem like there's any more shooting stars. I think so. Perhaps we just had to keep an ear out for them. I don't really know. But yeah, it was a very enjoyable watch. I thought it was incredibly cheesy, of course, but like cheesy in the right way, not cheesy like in a bad way. I'm like, oh, this is just like it's a sort of thing where I don't go like, this is bad writing. I'm like, this is like intentionally made this way to sort of appeal to it. And by the way, its choreography through its fight scenes were beautiful, to say the least. It felt like a dance, especially in one point, especially when there's this where, well, actually now I think about it, I probably shouldn't spoil too much of this movie. This is a very recent movie after all, but let's just say it's very pretty. Would I recommend you watch it if you're a fan of any of Marvel works? Absolutely, you should probably have already watched it by now. But if you're not so big a fan and you just kind of want to watch a fun movie, yeah, I'd say watch it. I think it's pretty entertaining. I think it's definitely deserve a watch. Would I watch it again? Possibly. It's on the maybe pile. It's not on the definitely would watch again a second time. To be fair, very, very few movies on that part for me. Probably like a handful of Disney movies and Parasite is all I can really think of. But we will go be looking for fossils, and then we'll see. We should probably talk to our villagers to see if everyone's still crafting. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm trying to think, have I seen any? Like, I've seen like bits and pieces of some martial art films. Ones including, like, I suppose, like Jackie Chan, probably. I don't know who else is a sort of big name in the martial art industry. Probably it's some. I don't know. But I can't remember. Was it like Art for Frame or something? No, every frame and painting. That's it. Just an incredibly stop and start sort of episode today, you know? I suppose it's just like throughout order today I was just like, I didn't really feel like recording anything. But, you know, it must go on, the streak must continue. Even if some episodes may be significantly worse than others. But yeah, martial art movies, that's what I was talking about. Oh, did I talk about this yet? How every frame of painting, was this old YouTube channel? It might have even predated YouTube, I can't really remember. Maybe it's not every frame of painting. I feel like it is. We talked about Jackie Chan movies, especially about martial art movies, what makes them different, like in the East and the West, and why the ones in like from like East Asia and that sort of thing feel so much more like, I don't know, but like crunchy, I suppose. Maybe crunchy isn't the right word. That sounds a bit more violent, but it's not like more violent. It feels more satisfying, I suppose, might be the way I put it. And it's about this that and a lot of it wasn't necessarily to do with a choreography and that sort of stuff, but I suppose partially it is because a lot of the times the people who are acting in these Asian movies, they are like, well, I'm not going to say. I was going to be like, maybe they are the actual stunt people, but I'm not actually sure if that's true. But it was mostly to do with the editing, how apparently you can especially notice it in Jackie Chan movies, which is very much true, is when they do the punch, they're going for the punch, and in like a Western movie, often just before the punch hits, they'll cut to a different shot of like the recipient reacting to a punch or whatever sort of thing like that, which takes away from some of the oomph somehow, but allows her basically to sort of sew in the actor, I suppose, much more smoothly. You like have a stunt double take the hit, but then you cut to a shot of the actor just sort of like reacting to it, I suppose. But it takes away from a little bit. Sweetheart? Nah, it's very you, because I can't bother to think of something. It takes away from it somewhat because you don't really see that sort of brunt of the impact, I suppose, which is, to be fair, you don't really want to go around punching your actors or anything like that, but oh well, maybe you do, but I don't. But quite oftentimes in Jackie Chan movies especially, what they do is they show the impact, instead of cutting away from the impact, they show the impact, and then when they cut after the impact, they show the impact again, like doubly, like a second time. So even though temporally it doesn't make sense, you see like an attack, what happens is you show the oomph, and then you have a very quick cut to the oomph again, just closer, but it doesn't quite register like that in your brain for whatever reason. Instead, it just sort of registers as like, whoa, look at that hit. You can really feel like the oomph behind it. At least I believe. It's something along those lines. And then, you know, ever since it's been mentioned, I just notice it all the time when I watch combat scenes, especially in Western movies. I'm just like, you know, yeah, it's totally right. They do cut away quite a lot of the time from the impact. But then, you know, they always remember those Jackie Chan movies I've seen where they just show the impact and they show it twice, and then it's got so much more oomph behind it. And I'm not going to say it's like, oh, that's something that Western directors should learn from, because I'm not a film director. What the heck do I know about this sort of thing in the first place? It's sort of like not hypocritical necessarily, I mean to say, but a bit pointless, I think. Though no, certainly a lot better than I would. So I don't really have much of a place to stand to talk about it, is what I mean. We're meant to have a coconut, but we didn't for some reason. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to say I'm like a huge fan of martial art movies or that sort of thing, because I haven't really watched all that many. I've seen some here and there, mostly just like Jackie Chan films, and I don't even remember which ones they are, because I sort of seen them randomly when I was younger, with absolutely no context behind them. But I always appreciated how combat scenes in movies especially can really feel like like hand-to-hand combat scenes especially can really feel like a dance, like a choreography. And you know me, I like seeing visually like appealing dances and that sort of thing. Oh, hello Wisp. You know what? Let's do your thing, Wisp. I'm not sure if you've ever done it on camera. No, a ghost. It's not very interesting. He scatters around 5 wisps and we have to go catch them all. Please, I haven't done anything wrong. Just let me go. Oh dear. Please do not startle me like that. My heart nearly stopped. And there goes my spirit again. Great, I can't go around looking like this. What should I do? I'm sorry to ask, but is there any chance that you can collect that piece of my spirit again? Otherwise I'll be stuck like this the rest of my life. Like this. I can't even think about it. Please, I promise there'll be a nice reward in it for you. Now let's see. There are 5 pieces of my spirit in all. You should be able to find them floating around the island. You'll be needed to connect to catch them. I'm counting on you. Thank you. I actually think we did do this ages ago. Like, literally within like the first 30 days or something of Animal Crossing. Which is crazy to think about, but it's so long ago. And I've not done it since, basically, for ages. But we should certainly do it a bit more often, because it's one of the Nook Mile missions that we need to do. But for now, we'll just sort of hunt them out. Yeah, I always appreciate a good dance, that sort of thing. So, a beautifully choreographed, planned physical movements in a team tandem. This is very visually appealing, shall we say, to look at. So perhaps there's no surprise that I do like watching those sort of things. And if it was a thing I especially felt during the Shang-Chi movie, I was just like, whoa. These combat encounters are just like dances, some of them. Just so incredibly fun and probably very creative. Not probably very creative, but they are very creative. Well, meant to. It's like probably very fun to actually create in the first place. I'm not a choreographer, but I must imagine that working on these sort of like martial arts scenes must be incredibly difficult, and not difficult, well maybe difficult, well probably difficult, but also like really fun and rewarding as well. Must feel very different, I suppose, to the usual pace of action. But what do I know? Sorry, let me have some water. Stay hydrated, y'all. But yeah, that's what I said about it. Like, I talked about it before, but it reminds me of what's it called? There's that sort of like performance martial arts sport, which, by the way, should absolutely be an Olympic sport. It's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's basically rhythmic gymnastics, except for it's martial arts, and it's awesome. It's all I can really say about that sort of thing. So we've got 3 of them. We've got 2 more. I don't know why they've all congregated around this one particular area, but still. Yeah, it's just creative, and you know, especially more creative when they can incorporate that Marvel, not spin on it necessarily. Well, I guess kind of spin, but like a flavour to it. Well, it's not just pure martial arts; it's martial arts plus like superhero kind of abilities as well. I'm not saying that in martial arts movies they already aren't working with superhuman abilities essentially, but even more so. Quite literally, I suppose. Because he's got, you know, there's 10 rings, which grant some very strong powers. Spoilers. Yeah, that's basically long and short, but it looks pretty cool. Martial art movies. I'm trying to think. I've definitely watched some, but I don't remember what they are. I mean, the ones I have seen are Jackie Chan ones. This is where you Google it and see if I recognise any of the names. But I feel like I've only watched them in China. Martial art movies. Jackie Chan. There's probably Google will probably give me a short list. I'm not talking about Rush Hour, Karate Kid, Forbidden Kingdom, Rumble Bunks. I'm talking about the Chinese ones he's been in. Let's see. I mean, Rumble in Hong Kong sounds familiar, but I don't actually know if I've seen it. Shaolin Wooderman? Don't remember this. Hand of Death. Killing Meteors? No, don't know any of these. It's hard to know because there's not much context behind what I've seen of him. I just see a load of cool fight moves. There's one of them he fights with a ladder. There's one of them. I feel like it's called Drunken Master or something. Is that a Jackie Chan movie? I feel like we've seen that one. Jackie Chan. Maybe like Drunken Fist? Drunken Master. I'm not sure if I've seen that entire thing, but I've definitely seen parts of it, which is... What on earth is... So I was just looking at my Discord there. Which is certainly very interesting. Now, I'm not really going to comment much on Jackie Chan as a person, because I don't really know what he's like. But him as a martial art performer, pretty cool, I would say. Ooh. Wow, why are all these wisps? They feel so close, they're all congregating around the central river. What is it about will-o-wisps that like to hang out over water bodies or something? I don't know. But I've only got one more. So Wisp, you do not have much longer to wait, I suppose, till we can hopefully find it. I'll say my mouth's getting very dry just talking. I might need another sip of water, and you know what? No one's going to stop me when I have it. Ooh, just nearly dropped the bottle. I must say, this is a very boring episode. I apologise for that. Not every episode can be a bang, especially when you don't record them in sessions. You just record them each and every day. Some days you're just like, conversation juice is not flowing, and some other days they are. It's a potluck. What you get when you click on each video every day, you're just like, am I gonna get a video where Darnie just goes absolutely off about some random niche topic, or is it going to be one where she struggles to find her footing conversationally? 17 minutes in. And this is definitely one of them. Certainly helps that. It certainly doesn't help, I suppose, that I feel very, I don't say tired, because it's not like I want to sleep now. Maybe soon, but not now. There's certainly much more fatigue, I suppose. The energy's in there, perhaps because I went out yesterday, and you know, this is normally for sort of recovery time. Where is this other wisp? This is why I don't like doing wisps thing. It's so annoying to try and find these wisps. This is why Celeste is the best nighttime visitor. There's only two, but still. I haven't seen Celeste for ages. I wonder which other Zodiac recipes I'm actually missing. It's been ages. And if I was perhaps just a little bit quicker, I probably could have got some of the stars as they flew on by. Maybe that's what I'll just do for the last few minutes. Oh no, we need to look at a Nook Mart terminal, I think. Oh, there you are. Perry. They're all basically in this, like, 2 acres. So we'll go to the Nook Mart terminal, we'll see what's going on, then we'll see if any sort of shooting stars come, because it's not often we sort of get this opportunity late at night, I suppose. I don't know, like, martial arts and dancing, I can't imagine they have too much difference between them, right? Interconnected in some ways, and they're both, like, physical activities, I suppose. Whoa. But who really knows? Not me. Ta-da! That's normal. Oh, sorry. What's gonna be? This is where you always do something new, because it's something you don't have catalogued. Oh wait, I'm muted. Because something new is always something you don't catalogue. Something expensive is not always something expensive, for some reason. I wonder if I ever figured out what they meant. Let's see. Sorry. Animal Crossing Wiki. Wishy? Here he has Wishy. That's not who I wanted. I wanted Wisp. Ta-da! Let's see. New Horizons. The player returns, you'll ask if the player wants an expensive item worth 10,000 bells or less, or an item they currently do not own worth 1,500 bells or less. He always announces if he gives clothing, furniture, flooring, or wallpaper. Choosing an expensive item does not guarantee a valuable item, and a cheap item. Wait, what? A valuable reward and a cheap item, or one the player has already may be given instead. What? Well, 10,000 is pretty not that expensive, so I don't know why he considers that expensive. If a player has already obtained a ladder, Whisper only spawn on elevated areas. Didn't know that one. We already know this recipe. But we'll put the surveillance camera away, because that's something we don't have catalogued, which I guess is fun. Oh, we don't have any wrapping paper. Or maybe we do have wrapping paper. Let's see. Because we need to give Phoebe a gift. We don't need to, but still. We probably don't. I'd imagine we used it all up. Never mind. We got 4 sitting right here. We're only going to use up 1. And the others will have just, I guess, as an emergency. I don't know why we haven't had this one in the first place. Oh, you know what? I think it's because of the Christmas wrapping or something required it in the first place. Martial art movies, martial art movies. It's really hard to speak about when you don't really remember them. I've only just seen random scenes. So my parents kind of like Jackie Chan films. Why do they say randomly put them on? Sometimes. Is Phoebe out and about? We haven't run into Phoebe. She's a sisterly villager, so she should be up quite late. For some reason, I don't know why I know this, but she sleeps, those villager personalities sleep the latest. Like 2 AM or something, but also get up the latest. She must be in the museum then, because we haven't seen her. I don't think we've seen her out and about. She could be, no, she can't be visiting Claude. No, she wouldn't be still, she wouldn't still be visiting someone. She would have returned home, so she must be in the museum somewhere. So we'll go for a quick look, see if we can find it. If we can't, then we can't. There's not really much to it. Otherwise, we don't really have much else to do in New Horizons today. Not much. Well, it's not like we really ever have anything to do, but still. At least not for a long while now. Sorry. Need a lot of water to drink. Gotta stay hydrated and all that. Oh, there you are, Phoebe. Apparently quite easy to find. Do you want this? Would you like a fossil? Because you're in the museum itself. I wonder if she has special dialogue if you give her a fossil in the fossil area. I suppose not. I guess now we'll just sort of wait for shooting stars to see if anything comes up. And if nothing does, and nothing does, that'll just be it. Or something. Who knows, really? It's quite tiring. It is like 10:30, I suppose. It's kind of late. But it's been a while since we had to just do casual wishing. We're not normally here. Right, this doesn't seem right. I don't know where we usually stand here, that's right. See if anything comes by. What do I know about martial art movies? Not really much or anything. I don't think we're any early stars. I think it must have only been for that little while. It must have been very early shooting stars, to be fair. Well, let's just round this episode off. This episode is a disaster. Might as well nip it in the bud. So yeah, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been darling. Likes, comments, subscriptions, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me, darling. Discord down below, follow me on Twitter. Hope we see each other again. Popping out. Farewell. So until next time. I promise, other episodes are normally better than this. Bye bye for now.